So this video we're going to cover what is the best left and right wing builds when it comes to FIFA 23 inside pro clubs. This is going to involve you having 75 skill points to use within the game. Now if you haven't watched our glitch video previously, it does still work at the moment, so you can definitely check that out to get your character leveled up. But like I said, we're going to be going over what is the best build. Now this will also work for left mid and right mid, so all you need to do is change the positioning. If you do enjoy this style of content, don't forget to subscribe, as we'll be posting tons more FIFA content in the coming days and weeks. So let's get straight into it here. So first things first, when it comes to the actual profile of your player, now obviously this is going to be kind of subjective to some extent, but what I've been playing with inside Ultimate Team is actually Rodrigo, Ansu Fati, those kind of players, a bit like Vinny Jr. as well. And those are kind of wingers that feel really, really good to me in this game. So kind of high dribbling, good movement on the ball. They're not necessarily like strong, powerful players, but they are players that can get in and out of kind of tackles and things like that, and obviously dribble past players. And that's the kind of builds I'm looking to go for here because they work really well for the most part. And Vinny Jr. is a very popular player in this game, and this is kind of a build towards that. Now, when it comes to the wings in this game, I do think you need to use your outside foot. So unlike FIFA 22, I thought the best way to do that game was to have your stronger foot on the inside so you can cut inside and take the finesse shots. Finesse shots are not that powerful in this game anymore. And if you are going to finesse shot, you need to be like literally a little bit further away than outside the box. And you can still do it. You just need to make sure you have the distance shooter perk on. Now the build for this is going to be a 5'7". You could do 5'6" as well, 5'8" as well would also work, and then 121 pounds. Now, obviously you can play around with the weight a little bit, but I like to have a good balance between a little bit of physical just to make sure you don't get kind of knocked off the ball, but nothing too major like a striker build because you don't want them to not be able to be agile on the pitch. Then when it comes to the perks, we've got Skilled Dribbler. As always, I think this is going to be an absolute must perk for this game, especially for your attacking players. I think you're going to need this absolutely for sure. And then we do also have one-time shot on here. Now, first time shot is going to give you the outside of the foot shot. So if you want a finesse shot, outside foot shot, then this is the perk you need to use. It also helps with headers as well. So overall, very, very solid perk. Now you can also use distance shooter as well, which is going to allow you to finesse shot outside the box. So that's another solid one. It just kind of depends on your play style. I think for the most part when I play, I tend to take shots from inside the box or just outside. But if you're slightly further out than that, then use distance shooter instead. But both are really, really good in this game actually. And then we are moving into the actual skill tree itself. So when it comes to the skill tree, as much as I'd love to put a little bit on physical, we can't use all of our skill points that you see here because we're only using 75, and we've actually got 96 so far. And we will be making builds going over kind of higher level players as well. But you do want stamina. Stamina 84 is definitely a solid place to be with the stamina to last a full game. And then we did also put on the second stamina perk as well. Moving on from this, defending, you do want to have a little bit of defending, especially if you're going to be a left and right mid. If you're going to be a left and right wing, you can actually take this away entirely and put skill points on other things, maybe like a bit more physical, for example, if you're going to be a winger. So you can play around with this page of the build. Personally, I just like to have a little bit of tackling in my play style, just because if you are going to be so far out, you might need to kind of run back and help your defender. Dribbling is where you definitely want to have most of your perks available now. So we do have all the agility pretty much before the final one. We've got all the dribbling before the final one in this middle section, and you can fill this up, but we do have the skill dribbler perk to kind of help with that as well. We do also have attacking agility, which is definitely what you're going to need, so we can get in the box. And then also we've got skill moves on here because I know a lot of you guys like skill moves, and a lot of the skill moves in this game are very easy to do, and some of the more kind of powerful ones are super easy. So 4-star skill moves is more than enough than what you'll need. You don't really need 5-star. 4-star is good enough, and it's going to allow you to dribble in and out of players as well. Then we do have ball control and balance. Now, I do actually like using balance and balance. That also works out really well also. So both are really, really good options. If you do have extra skill points, and this is exactly where I would put it, is actually on the balance perk. So personal preference on that one, but I was realistically using the ball control one just to see how that feels, and it does feel pretty good to me. Balance is just going to allow you to stay on the ball a little bit better. Passing, you'll definitely need crossing on this 100%. you're using your outside foot to cross that big striker down the middle if you're playing with 2 strikers or even 1. Or if you try to cross it to the other winger that's running into the box, this is definitely something you'll need 100%. So we've got crossing on, we've got curve, and we've also got vision just to make sure you get those crosses off. If you put the crossing without the vision, it kind of gives you like a loose ball cross, which is just not what you want. So definitely these 3 are an absolute must. You don't really need to add any more passing on. 80 passing is good enough for a winger. Then we're moving on to the main thing everyone wants to see, which is the shooting and the pace. Pace we'll get onto in a second, but when it comes to shooting here, you do want to make sure you've maxed out shot power as much as you can, and then you also get 4-star weak foot, so now you're a 4-star player, which is definitely solid as a winger, and it allows you to do those outside foot shots and all that cool stuff, and finish shots if you need to. Then we've got long shots. Now, long shots are not great. Now, it kind of depends on the kind of winger you're going to be. Like I said, you could take some of those defending perks off and put them on long shots instead if you want to take shots from outside the box, or you could choose the distance shooter perk. So it's a couple of different ways you could build this. Depends on how you personally play, but the way I like to play is cutting inside, taking the finesse shots from kind of close in, or try to get inside the box and help my striker out, or kind of be like that kind of playmaker role. So it's like a Vinny Jr. style of play. This is the kind of build I've tried to go for. And then when it comes to finishing, we've got it on level 3 here. Obviously we will get to like weak foot and then obviously like finisher archetype once we get more skill points. Now when it comes to pace, we've maxed out the left side with acceleration, the right side with sprint speed. We do not have the archetype yet. Now obviously I can do it with the skill points I have, but that would be maxing over the 75 skill points. So this 88 and 88 acceleration is absolutely solid. You don't really need like super fast pace in this game anymore because pace is not everything. If you've actually noticed, even in Ultimate Team, a lot of players with like 80-90 pace is good enough. So you don't really need like stupidly fast pace in this game anymore. Even defenders are pretty solid with pace. So overall, that is a very solid left and right winger build. Like I said, make sure you're using your outside foot as well so you can get those good crosses in, and you can play around with that defending page if you really need to allocate skill points elsewhere. But thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.